Welcome to Business Line's State of the Economy podcast, where you'll find insight, analysis, and the story behind the numbers.
Hey all, welcome to Business Line's State of the Economy podcast on commodities. Gold prices have been sashaying up and down since November after Donald Trump was elected the US president again. From nearly touching $3,000 an ounce, gold has now dropped to near $2,775. Last year, gold was one of the best commodities in terms of returns. It gave over 30% return. In India too, the yellow metal gained significantly. For India, gold is an important commodity socially and economically. How will gold's performance be in 2025? To tell us more on this, we have with us Mr. Colin Shah, Managing Director, Kama Jewellery. Welcome to Business Line State of the Economy podcast on commodities, Mr. Shah. What are the prospects for gold in 2025 in the global and domestic market?
Thank you for having me over on this podcast. And as far as gold is concerned, like we all know, it had a dream run last 2 years, and went to levels where we didn't think 2 years back were even possible. But this year, with the change in governments in the US, and President Trump making a series of, I would say, executive orders in the first 1 week since he's become president, the more these tariffs become reality, the stronger the dollar will get, and the stronger the dollar gets, gold will drop to, I guess, back to 1600 levels or even lower if the dollar keeps on getting stronger. Now, if the tariff threat actually doesn't become a reality and there is some amount of balance in how the US looks at its main trading partners, which are China, Europe, and even India to that extent, then things may change again. So this year will be a difficult one to predict because it all completely depends on how the US dollar behaves over the next 2-3 months.
Some analysts say gold is not done yet with the rise. What are your views?
Yeah, like I said, the tariff threat does not become as real as what it looks it is, then gold can go to 2000 levels. And we may see a 10 to 15% upside in dollar terms this year. But if that happens, then gold will become, I don't think the prices will go up. So we'll know in the next few months.
How will the situation be in India with regard to gold?
See, as the was 24, the year did not end well for India. So the last quarter, if you take most of the large corporate results and what is actually happening on the ground, the capex cycle has not started. The private sector is not yet investing in a big way. The government spending on infrastructure is not what was expected in the last budget. So if spending is not happening in the economy, it's affecting consumption also, right? Consumption on the ground is, soft, for lack of another word. Now, if this budget, and especially coming up, I guess this Saturday only, it's time that they really, unleash the animal spirits. But they'll have to do, I think, a lot for that to happen. They need to reduce taxation. They need to have a big boost on manufacturing, exports, loans. It's all kind of SEZs. So now I don't know, to be honest, how much can or will be done. But if US also imposes tariffs on India, then I think our government will be under pressure to do much more than maybe it has in the last few years. So we are entering a time which is a little, I would say, we have to be cautiously optimistic. I don't think we can be very optimistic on the Indian economy for sure.
Central banks bought significant amount of gold in 2024. How will their purchases be this year?
I think central banks will have, again, if these tariffs become a reality and if India is not able to come to some kind of trade deal, right, then the central banks are going to be under pressure for the forex reserves. We've already seen a big chunk going out as the FIs have started selling Indian stocks and are investing back in the US and China. So unless we are able to stem that flow, I don't think there will be much fiscal space or reserves to buy much gold. So I don't see that buying happening this year. compared to last year, unless we have FI money coming back again.
Will we see a recovery in gold jewelry exports this year after a lull last year?
Jewelry exports again very dependent on America, and there is a cry for manufacturing back in the US. So if that amplifies, then exports will be in some kind of stress. But if it doesn't amplify and the US economy does well as what everyone's expecting it to be, then I think jewelry exports will see a 10 to 20% growth this year. So again, there is a if over here. It's not for sure, I would say.
So thank you very much for your views, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Subramani.
Thank you all. Until we meet in our next episode, bye all.